it is Holly, and I had the pleasure of doing a VIP tour during my January of 2025 trip to Disney World, and I thought I would do a little video talking about it. Now, this is not going to be a fully informative video because for the main reason that I did not pay for this tour. I was invited by my cousin who decided to do this. We were on a fairly big family trip, and he had some clients from work coming as well, and so he ended up booking this VIP tour for us at Hollywood Studios. Because of the number of us, we ended up having to have two tour guides. I don't even want to know how much it costs, plus the tip at the end, you know, all that. So but I thought I would talk a little bit about my experience and what it was like for us. There were just under 20 of us, and I would say there was 4 little kids, like 5 to 7, 8. And then there was a decent amount around my age, and then in their 30s. And then we probably had 6-ish in their 60s, maybe 70s. I don't know how old my cousin's clients were, so I can't fully, I'm just guessing based on what I did. They were there with their daughter and their granddaughter, so I'm just kind of guessing on that. Like I said, we did have 2 tour guides, and we were only at Hollywood Studios. We started in the late morning. I think we ended up meeting around 11:30 over by Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. No, One Man Street. We met by One Man Street. You don't care where we met. They ended up coming. The tour guides were great. They gave us little pins. They talked to us a little bit. They talked to the kids. They did such a good job accommodating everybody. We had such a variety of ages and desires and everything in the park. We talked a little bit about what do we want to do, and I was like, listen, I'm just along for the ride. I will do whatever you tell me to do. So they kind of had a game plan for what they were looking to get done, and we headed off. So we started in Toy Story Land, and we did basically everything there. We did Alien Swirling Saucers, which I have never done before because I thought it would make me sick. And I was like, oh, well, I don't want to be I don't want to not go, right? And I was talking to the one tour guide, and I asked her about it, and she's like, no, I think you'll be, I was explaining to her because I have issues with things like the teacups and everything. And she's like, no, I think you're going to be fine. And honestly, I was completely fine. So that is good to know that I can ride rides like this. I believe there's one in Disneyland as well. So if I ever go out there, I know I can ride that. So I'm happy I finally tried it, and it was fun. And riding, I just want to say riding everything with the kids was such a joy. My one cousin, his daughter, wanted to ride Slinky Dog with me. She had to ride Slinky Dog with me. And it's just to feel loved and just see the joy on their faces and everything doing all of these rides was amazing. So it was great to be with them, and to just, that had nothing to do with the tour, but it was so amazing. We did that. I think that took a little longer than we had planned on it, which there was a variety of reasons. It wasn't necessarily because they kind of cut the lines and everything for you. So some places we went in the Lightning Lane entrances, and some places we went backstage and then kind of cut in line. So then we went over to the Beauty and the Beast stage show to catch that, because that obviously has a set time. So we have to be there for that. And we got there, I think right before it started, and we had reserved seating down towards the front. And our tour guides asked us what kind of snack we wanted. So popcorn, pretzel, ice cream, something else, and water or whatever, and brought those into us down while we were watching the show, which was awesome. We did Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, which was one where we went backstage, so you don't even go through the Lightning Lane. It was backstage, you know, when you literally go into the room to go see the cartoon. They just put you right in that little the little cutout part. You don't even go through the little walkie part. So that was cool. And then after, if you've seen Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, there's the cartoon, and the cartoon explodes and then you go into the cartoon. And it's always like really weird because like it's like this little bottleneck and people are really aggressive and I normally just hang back and mind my own business. They were like at that gate like blocking people and not letting them go until we went through. I felt kind of bad about it and I could never be a Disney tour guide. I could never do that. But that was fun, I guess. We did like the Rise of the Resistance, Millennium Falcon, that kind of stuff. That was tons of fun. I totally forgot about the drop in Rise of the Resistance, and I was riding with my one cousin, and it's like a tiny drop, but oh my god, she was so mad. I was like, I'm so sorry, I should have told you about it. I felt like a horrible cousin. So felt so bad. And then some of the kids wanted to do Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster multiple times. So we had like done it earlier in the day, and then later, like after Galaxy's Edge, they wanted to go back. I don't do either of those, but I'm more than happy to wait for them. And I'm so glad that the kids, like, it was funny because like, I think after Tower of Terror, like 2 of them like, we're never doing that again. And then like 2 hours later, they're like, can we do Tower of Terror again? And it is just so adorable and I love it. And I'm so happy that they like enjoyed themselves and everything and that they had other people. So like, you know, like some of my cousins, like they're like my cousin with the drop, like her daughter was one of the ones who wanted to ride Tower of Terror, but obviously my cousin's not going to ride it with her. So the fact that we were there as a big family and we had other people, like my stepmom, she loves like Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster, but my dad and I don't. And so she doesn't often ride them when she's with us. We tell her it's fine. We don't care if she goes without us, but I think she feels bad and everything. So it's nice that we could kind of trade off. And then we were going to finish the night at Fantasmic. So we were kind of just hanging out by Rock and Roller Tower of Terror. And we ended up, before everybody did like their final rides, we ordered dinner to have during Fantasmic. And with dinner, you do pay for it. So what we ended up doing was mobile ordering at like one of the like Catalina Eddie's or whatever, Rosie's All American, like one of those, just because it was right there. And I ended up doing the order on my phone, and then my cousin just Venmo'd me the money for it for everybody's, which was very nice of him. But that you do pay for. So like the guy, like that's not included in your tour, like the snack from earlier in the day is. And so we did that, and then myself and one of the guides ended up going and picking up the food, and then we took it in to Fantasmic, where we were later joined by some of the like Rock and Roller Coaster people. They like escorted us through the theater, and then we had like reserved seating. Our seating was up all the way at the top, which honestly was not bad. Like I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel about it because I'm always like I get to Fantasmic early and sit all the way at the bottom kind of a person, but sitting at the top was really nice. You can still see a lot, so it's fine. But yes, and so we did that, and then like right before the show started, my cousin tipped them, and they headed out, just told us like, oh, this is what you want to do to like leave or whatever. So yes, both of our guides were wonderful and fantastic. One of them, I heard him saying that like he has like people who literally like come back and like ask for him. I'm sure that happens all the time, and I can see it. They were both fantastic, so good with like the variety of ages, with coordinating everything, working with like all these like different personalities, and they push strollers. This is something that kind of bothers me when I see people with guides, VIP tour guides in the parks, is them pushing the strollers. And like, I get it, the tour guides volunteer to do it, but it just makes me uncomfortable. So, and also like, have you pushed a stroller? Because especially like most of my cousins, no, they were all in umbrella strollers, and I feel like those are even shorter. But like those suckers are like, they're so low. Like I need like an umbrella stroller where the handles come like up here, you know? Anyways, I don't know how like tall dads or moms, but mostly men are taller, be pushing those suckers. Yeah, they were just great. The kids loved them. They got to know like what the kids liked, what they wanted, and all of that. Like I'm sure I'm sure they get paid very well. And I think it's a pretty coveted position. And like the male tour guide we had, I think he said like over like because we were there in like early January, that like over the Christmas holiday, he worked like 18 days in a row. And then it's just, because like, not only is it that many days, it is that many days where you are on, like you have to be 100% on as a person. And I just cannot imagine how exhausting that is. So yes. But yes, that was my like VIP tour experience. I've always wanted to do one, and I would still like to do another one. My dad and I have talked about it, like in a situation like this where there was maybe like 10 of us as a family, maybe the price wouldn't be like too prohibitive. Like say it's like $3,000 between 10 people, that's $300. That's a lot of money, but like you can get a lot done. And I think Hollywood's like Magic Kingdom, I feel like you could get so much more done just because there's so much more to do than there is at Hollywood Studios. So yes, I do see the appeal of VIP tours. Definitely don't see me doing them a lot in the future because I don't make VIP tour money. But I think that it was a lot of fun. I was glad to be invited on in the experience, and it was nice to kind of like actually do it and not just watch people do it. And like I said, it was so much fun to be able to spend, this whole trip was great to be with like my cousin's kids and stuff, just to see whenever you feel like the magic is going away, either go to Disney with kids or just like look non-creepily at the children around you and see the joy that they have, whether it be an attraction or even like a splash pad, just like the absolute joy that they have on their face, and try to just bottle a little bit of that up in your heart, I think is amazing. So like as a little story, on my this last trip that I just took in May, we said goodbye to Muppets and we went to Pizza Rizzo to say goodbye, and we were eating in the Muppet in the wedding room, and you know, they were playing bangers, and there was like a mom there with her 2 kids who were probably like 5 and 6, 4 and 6 maybe, and they just kept dancing, and like she got up at one point, was dancing with them, and that made me so happy, like just to see like that, like that's what it is to me, is like just like the uninhibited joy for life and doing things. That is what I love about Disney, and it in my mind brings out that part of you that I think I wish more people had, like more people still could access their inner child and just see those moments. So yes, that was a great moment, and I felt like blessed to have been able to like view that and experience that and see them do that, and that little reminder that you need to take those little things in life, whether you're in Disney World or at home, take those little things and seek out joy everywhere. So yes, but thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.